Leche. Leche. Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting nippy up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Yo, what? Oh, there you are. I'm usually on there by myself, but I'll do the intro anyway. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. My name is Peter Loshak. If you don't know that guy, he's more famous than me now. You know who that is, Jose Bouquett. We do this every Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, January 17th. You know, I got my research, I got my water, I got my caffeine pills, aka uppers. They just sell friggin' uppers over the counter at Walgreens, which is great. Friggin' caffeine. Yes, caffeine is a drug. Yes, you can get addicted to it. Use it responsibly, as I do. Yes, I got my uppers here, caffeine pills. You know, it's an interesting time of year. Yesterday, Caesars ran a promo, and I had to make a big bet on one of those teams. And I'll admit I took the Bucks, which was a stupid mistake. I would have passed on it, but they had a promo. I had to take one of the sides on the spread. I was like, well, maybe I'll hedge it out. I didn't because I saw some people whom I respect on Twitter also liking the Bucks. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to friggin' embarrass them. They're supposedly smart, and maybe they are. But they were wrong as hell on that one. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll just roll with it. I won't hedge out of it. And it lost. So I'm still stinging from that a little bit, Jose Bouquett. But other than that, today's an interesting card. And I think we're going to have a winning day today on this show. What do you think, Jose? We got Trotwan. We got EOG, Mr. Gokster. We got Dabby Cat for college hoops. How you doing, Jose?
I'm doing all right, Pete. And I'm glad we could talk on this lovely Tuesday because I need your advice, Pete. You're okay. A worldly man. You've been through some things, you know. You've been through some life experiences. I'm going through something that I have never done before.
Oh yeah, what's that?
As a newly minted American citizen, as of like 8 years ago or whatever, now I'm doing jury duty for the first time today. I'm going to our lovely courthouse around noon mine time. So Victor is actually going to swap with me mid-show, and I'm only starting the show with you. So Peter, besides you know, the obvious reasons to get out of jury duty, what are your jury duty strategies?
Guilty, whatever. Guilty. I don't even need to know what the case is. Guilty. They either did it or they didn't do it and got accused of it, which is also their fault. So fuck you, guilty. Give them the chair. Give them the chair. But what if I was accused of something I didn't do? But I'm not. They are. Guilty. That's it. Guilty. Done. Yeah. Guilty. You're out of there in 2 days. You're back with Pub Sports Radio and able to do shows all day long. That's my take it or leave it, Jose. No, I'm just kidding around.
I'll take it. Okay, I take it. I'll put it in my back pocket for later.
You know, the justice system, it's blind. It favors the rich. It's not fair. It's awful. I don't know, man. I would, and the freaking cops lie. You know what I mean? And the freaking judges are like, oh, I'm an asshole. Judges are just assholes and doing whatever their asshole whims tell them to do at the moment. I don't know. If I was on a jury, I would try to figure out who the decent people are. And I would try to use whatever power I had to do things in their favor. That's what I would do.
Wow, look at bright guy Peter Loshak. Oh my goodness, who is this man? By the way, a reminder: Peter's not more famous than I because Peter won the Capras contest, and I am a fat thumber, finished in fourth. But you said something's awful, Pete, and let's bring on another person that's awful. I can't stand the man. He dismisses me when I tail his picks. He hates it. Though I do want to say I did play a lot of golf this weekend, and I'm officially a golf guy now. So maybe I like this guy a little more now, and he's got a great golf show. Let's bring on Mr. Gokster. Mr. Gokster, hello, sir.
What's going on, Jose? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I've got 2 blisters on my thumbs for playing 18 back-to-back this weekend.
Nice.
111 on Sunday. Not a big
Ooh, okay.
whatever. And I'm playing in a tournament this weekend as well. So hopefully get some cashola too. So
there you go. Atta beat Jose. That's good to hear you're golfing, brother. You by all means tail my golf picks. By all means, I want you to tail my golf picks. Whatever happened.
Not the hockey ones. Fuck the hockey.
That was in the past, right? But no, that's good. Good to hear with the golf. Yeah, you're gonna have blisters. Usually it's right around like right in that part of the hand there. That's where you start to get the blisters coming in. But it'll wear off. Just toughens the old hands. But yeah, no, that's good to hear you're golfing. Peter, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm still stinging from a fucking stupid bet. I mean, that's what these friggin' books do. They're like, hey, here's a nice little bonus if you make a bet way bigger than you should, and if you win it, you get a nice little bonus. If you lose, okay. And they sucker us in by making us make negative EG bets, even if the bets are themselves positive EV, which the Bucks probably were not. Dallas was obviously the right side. I don't know, man. I'm still stinging from that, but that's it. We'll move on. It did sting, though. It happens.
I was on Jacksonville, and I thought I was on the wrong side for a while in that game, Pete. So and with the way Dallas was up, I thought, you know what? We've seen this before.
Yeah.
He's going to come back, but yeah, I don't know. Do you think Brady's going to have another year in him, or?
Who knows? Who cares? I don't give a shit.
That's my quarterback. That guy's going to be on the New York Jets next year.
Who knows? Who cares? Shout out to everyone. Wow, look at everyone's in the comment section here. D. Jenkins, Nutflush Allen. Shout out, man. That Nutflush Allen, man. Nutflush Allen. If I was on a jury and Nutflush Allen was being charged for something, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what. Innocent. No matter what. I don't give. They're like, but look at all this evidence. Innocent. So what? Fuck you. Put someone else on the jury.
Jose,
innocent.
One question, Jose. What if the plaintiff here comes in with a Red Sox hat, and does that give any bias?
Yeah, of course. Innocent.
Exactly. Yeah.
My goodness. If they told me the guys from Venezuela, innocent.
Hell yeah. And same thing with Dan Kelly and Billy Friedrich and G. Jenkins and Rocco Rogers. I'd fucking vote innocent for all of you. I don't give a shit about what the evidence were. Hell yeah. Mally Mal. Shout out to Mally Mal. All right, it's going to be a good RVD 420. We got all the heavy hitters. Ron Crawford, NHL spreadsheet play of the day, Buffalo regulation. A very, very interesting call there from Ron Crawford. We'll see what Mr. Goldster has to say about it. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. And Osby likes Flyers puck line. We will talk about that for sure. Wow. Going to be a good show, huh?
Yeah, obviously. Of course it is. 8 games, too. I like how it's a smaller slate, too, so we can really crush it.
All right, you ready to go?
All born ready.
All right. Have a good jury duty, Jose Bouquett. Yeah. We'll see you later.
Best of luck, brother.
I'll try my best. R. Kelly, innocent, obviously.
All right. Let's start with Philly. That's first game on the card. You ready, Goldster?
Sounds good, Peter.
Yeah. Who was it that just posted Philly? Yeah, Osby, Flyers puck line. Flyers, of course, were suddenly winning. They're on a back-to-back. They're off a shutout loss at Boston, which is very forgivable. And Anaheim, they're losing. They are kind of competitive, but they're just a very beatable team. 4 straight losses. Their defense has been awful in those games. Yesterday was also a game for them, so they're on a back-to-back as well. That was an OT game, and that's what I was thinking here. I was thinking, why would we not like Philly -1? Why would we not like maybe the Philly team total over maybe? Anaheim is a bit scrappy, but why would we not like Philly?
Yeah, that's the side I'm leaning towards here, guys. The goaltending is the big question mark here, Pete. The back-to-back, you're going to have Stolars, who he hasn't played. Well, he played 1/11, so January 11th, he had the loss, even though he had a shutout came in. San Jose, 116, January 16th, 4 goals against San Jose. And then before that, Pete, he didn't play until December the 9th. So he's only had 2 games under his belt. He looked okay against Edmonton, but the defense in front of him, we've been saying it all year, it's just not the greatest. They got a 69% penalty kill on the road, 72% since December 1st. It's looked a little bit better in the last 10 games, but on a back-to-back, I'm going to think there's going to be more goals here. On the goaltending, though, for Philadelphia, guys, Urson.
He's been great, right?
Pardon?
He's been great.
He has been, Pete, but it's a smaller sample size. This guy, I remember him on Lehigh, and he worked out some kinks, obviously. That's how he got up to the big leagues, but I still got to see more from him. It's going to be his first home start, too. This team's coming off the 6-0 loss to Boston, both teams back-to-back on the road. Where I'm going to look here, I think it's going to be a little bit of sloppy play here. It's going to be a little tougher for these goalies. Maybe one of them can steal the show, but I'm not going to expect Stolarz or Ersson to look that good with both teams on a back-to-back here. Fairly healthy team in Philadelphia right now too, guys. Give me the I'm going to take here, Pete, Philadelphia and the over 5.5. Shop around for that. I'll tell you the book, actually. It was at MGM. That's where I made this bet at. You can take Philadelphia and the over 5.5, Pete, at plus 150. Both power plays have been pretty good too. 20% on each side of the last 10 games. So, that was the wrong one here. The 17%, 18%, 26% though since December 1st. Home road splits, which I like, and the Anaheim penalty kill, guys, is subpar for sure. So, I'm expecting there to be goals. Both teams coming off a loss too. Anaheim didn't look that bad against Pittsburgh. And then Boston, Anaheim, from Boston to Anaheim, it's going to be much easier for Philadelphia, but I would expect Ersson to look good here. I just have some weird gut feeling telling me, just being a back-to-back, Pete, I'm going to take the over 5.5 plus 150 and Philly to win. I do expect Philly to win. Could go to overtime. I think it's going to be a tighter game, though.
D. Jenkins says, I'll never feel comfortable taking the Flyers as faves, which is my sentiments exactly. And now, if we want to give it publicly, it's, it was in the minus 170s on the overnight. Now it's all the way up to minus 200, which I guess is telling you something. But, and then maybe the Flyers team total over. You like the over. What's wrong with just the Flyers team total over, huh?
Yeah, that was another look before the show I was taking a look at there, Pete. I don't mind that either. The penalty kill, like I said, it's really bad for Anaheim. There's no real – it's been okay in the last 10 games, but on a back-to-back, when you have your Stolarz in net, he's only had 2 starts since December the 9th. So and he looked okay against Edmonton, which is a better sign, but 4 goals against San Jose. Ersson, I don't want to feel like I'm almost trying to catch a falling knife here with Ersson, Pete, but like he's shut out against Buffalo, 1 goal against Anaheim, 2 against LA Kings. He's looked good, but I don't know. You got an Anaheim team that's going to be, they're pushing for wins as much as, they obviously want to get Bedard if they can too. But they can score. It's not like this is a team that loses games 2-1. It's more like a Vancouver Canucks 4-3 loss kind of thing. So that's where I'm going to project this game at, like a 4-3 Philadelphia. So give me the over 5.5 in Philly, Pete, plus 150.
Nutflush Allen says, do you remember, Pete, when I told you a while ago how we get value on Philly team totals? Yes, I do.
Oh.
Freaking Nutflush Allen, man. God, he's starting to become like a fanboy now. He's not just like a friend. There's like friend and then friends you admire. That was him like a few months ago. I'm almost like a fanboy now. It's like reaching another level. Shout out to Nutflush Allen. Billy Friedrich says Philly in the over 6 is plus 186 at bookmaker. Imp 13420 says Flyers over 5.5 in regulation plus 180. Wow, that is really tempting, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you look at Philadelphia's losses, 6-0 against Boston, then they lost 6-2 to Toronto at home, and then 6-5 against Carolina, all 3 playoff teams. Then they've beat up on the other opponents, Washington, Buffalo, Arizona, Anaheim, LA, all in the puck line too, scoring at least 4 goals. Great call there, Nutflush Allen. So I would expect this to be kind of like, it's going to be that kind of game, like a 4-2. That's why I want to take the over 5.5, just in case it is like a 4-2 and I get some type of push on the over 6. So I expect their goals, even Philadelphia team total over. I would like that.
Yeah. Mally Mal says first period over sounds about right. I'm loving that.
That's where I was leaning to. I had first period both teams to score written down, full game over 6 as well. I'm just kind of taking one bet out of it, but I do like the over there too, Mally.
Yeah, I mean Philly's going to come back here and look. I mean they're off a shutout, so they're gonna come back, right? They're gonna fight back, right?
They played Boston, one of the toughest teams to score and best goaltending in the league.
God, every friggin' show, I'm like, we're going to keep a brisk pace, and I'm not going to repeat points over and over again. But every friggin' show, I start repeating points over and over again, trying to talk myself onto something or off something. Let's take a look at the money here. Small line value on Philly. Look at that, small line value on Philly, despite the fact that the bigger bets are coming in on Anaheim. 13% of the tickets and 50% of the cash on Anaheim, but small line value on Philly and everything coming in on the over. All right, I'll join you on this. I'm going to take Anaheim, Philly, first period over, and I will also take Philly team total over at 3.5. Let me just quickly glance at some lines here, and then I'll quote the lines, and then we'll move on. Let me just quickly glance here. The Philly first period over is where is it? Minus 145, and then at Heritage, and then let's look at Pinnacle very quickly. First period total for minus 136. All right, we'll take that one. First period over 1.5 minus 136, and the Philly team total over is 3.5 at even money.
I like that.
That should be okay, right? They're healthy, right?
I like that better. If anything, I like the puck line's been hitting like a lot, like left, right, and center for Philadelphia. So only worry would be maybe is if Anaheim doesn't pull their weight here, just because the last time I'm looking here, January 8th, they lost to Toronto at home 6-2, went on the road the next game, shut out Buffalo 4-0. So I really expect the -1 looks really good too on Philadelphia. More I'm
my initial thought.
Yeah, it does. I think it does look pretty good. Only, I guess I'm trying to almost poke holes with Ursson, but Anaheim's fairly healthy too. They have Lindstrom centerman out, Kirkland left winger, not a big household name. So it's just I'm question marks with Ursson. I got a weird feeling about there just being goals in this game. So I'm gonna stick to that, Pete.
And I'll triple up. I'll take Philly -1, minus 134, because that's what I was thinking about to start. And all right, let's move on, Gogi. Okay, you ready?
Let's rock.
Next one, Florida, Toronto. Florida's on a back-to-back. They beat Buffalo yesterday. And, Florida, obviously is significantly worse than they were last year. But the question is how much so? And are they maybe improving a little bit now? They've been winning a little bit more recently. And Toronto, they lost at Boston last game. Again, forgivable. They had won 3 in a row before that. But I have been reading that there's a flu that's going around the team that and just in general, Toronto at home as a favorite, just as D. Jenkins said, he just makes him nervous to bet Philly as a favorite, which I completely agree with. Toronto at home as a favorite is also something that makes me nervous. So I don't know. I was thinking maybe Toronto team total over, but then when I read about the flu stuff, I was like, maybe just pass. What's your take on this one?
Yeah, that makes. I was going to ask, why is this line so low? I would expect this line to be much higher for Toronto. That flu bug,
really?
Yeah, I would have thought. I would have thought. So the way Philly's been such an up and down team, and they're starting Pete, Alex Leon. They're starting. That's what I have here because they had Spencer Knight's out, guys. He has an undisclosed injury, so he's not playing. They had Bobrovsky in last night, unless they go Bobrovsky back to back. But you hate seeing that whenever a team goes to the goalie in a back to back. So I expect Alex Leon. It's going to be his first start in 2023. So that's why I thought this line should be a little bit higher. But the flu bug going around makes things a little bit dicey, you could say. They're coming off a 4-3 loss, but you still have their big names in there. Rasmus Sandin, he's going to be out for a bit. Pontus Holmberg, and then Brody. So they're missing a couple guys, but their offense is still intact. But with Alex Leon in net, I'm not too sure what we're going to get here. Just looking at some of his stats last year, he was 1-1, Pete, with a .908 save percentage. This year, he's 9-8, .909. Allowed 1 goal against Hershey last time, January 7th, and then 4 against Wilkes-Barre on the road. And that's, so he's, I think it's a tough spot for him. It's a back-to-back too for Florida, not Toronto. That's why I think this line should be high. I hope I'm not falling into a trap here, guys, but Toronto is 15-3 at home, 15-3-4, 7-1-1 since December 1st. So they're a team that really gets up at home. They're coming off a loss to a tough Boston team. I'm going to have to take Toronto here, guys. Even Florida's going to have a lot of local guys too. I know Nick Cousins from my area. They always like getting up against Toronto, but with Leon and net, I'm going to actually do a little double up here. It's going to be a little risky, Pete. I'm going to take Toronto in a money line parlay, and I'm also going to take Toronto team total over 3.5 minus 104.
Well, some interesting stuff coming down the pike here in the comments section. Rocco Rogers, I thought it could be a trap too, but I'm trusting the Leafs here. Mally Mal says, sounds like he's going to be a goalie with weird splits. I'm fading him first game up. So Mally Mal, not liking the guy for Florida as well. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just looking at comments. Yeah, Matt Murray confirmed, which is true. Rocco Rogers, I'm not worried about the Panthers. Toronto has some game time decisions. That's why I think the life. Yeah, Mally Mal likes the Leaf money line. D. Jenkins says Panthers might be back. The money doesn't really tell us that much as of right now. No line value, although, no line value as of right now on either side. Although it does seem like, at least initially, there might be some sharp action coming in on Florida, but that could easily flip. I don't know.
I'm not expecting a lot out of Leon, to be honest. Like he could be okay, but his numbers are not the greatest here in the AHL. He's very up and down.
Yeah,
maybe he can come in for a game, but I didn't go over the power play stats too real quickly here. Both teams are really humming. Actually, 34% for Florida last 10, 27% for Toronto, 28% for Toronto at home compared to 18% for Florida on the road. So home road splits definitely favor Toronto here. Murray and net after a tough loss to Boston. First start for Leon, back-to-back Florida. I'm going to take Toronto here.
All right. I'm going to hold off. My gut tells me Florida, but I'm going to hold off. A lot of people on Toronto. I'm probably not going to have a bet on this one, and I hope Toronto wins because it seems like everyone in the comments section is liking Toronto. All right, let's move on, Gogi. You ready?
That's it.
Minnesota, Washington. Now, this is kind of an interesting one. Washington also on a back-to-back, right? They beat the Isles in OT, but before that, the Washington's a tough team. I'm sure you have a much better read on them than I do in general. For a while, they were rolling, game in and game out, obviously. Then they had about an 8-game stretch where they were not that good, kind of 50-50. Now, again, on a back-to-back off of an OT win. And Minnesota also had been kind of slumping for a while for about 8 games, but they've now won 2 in a row. And Washington, they had a big comeback yesterday. They kind of start games slowly. So does that mean that on a back-to-back, they're going to start slowly again? Because Minnesota tends to be pretty good to start games. They're, rested. And I was thinking maybe Minnesota at least first period on this one. What do you think, Gogi?
Well, interesting look there, Pete. Where I'm going to probably go here is more so unders. In this game, Gustafson, he on the road 4-2, .946 save percentage. That's who I have in net right now, too, guys. Gustafson, let me know if it's not. He's been good on the road, Pete. Then Charlie Lindgren, he's just as good. Him and Kemper, I've been talking about it, can be a really good playoff push hockey team, in my opinion. He's 6-2, .915 save percentage, 2.33 goals against. Both teams' home road splits, Pete, are 83% penalty kill. Power plays are 20%, 16% on the low end. I'm thinking this is going to be a lower scoring game, to be honest. That was a big comeback from Washington, 3-0 down, came all the way back 1-4-3, traveling back home now on a back-to-back. The first period does make sense, but I think this team's strong enough defensively, and that's even without Carlson. They've also got back Wilson now, Pete. They've gotten back some other guys that were not on the team during the regular season. So I was on Washington last night, actually. Great comeback. Tonight, I think this is going to be the old no goal in the first 9 minutes and first period under 1.5. That's plus 115, and no goal first 9 was minus 105. So the stats are all leaning that way. The way these two teams play back-to-back, big comeback win. That would be my only worry, though, Pete, is if Minnesota, even if they get one, we still hit that under 1.5. If they score in the first 9 minutes, we'll still get a little bit of plus 115 will come into play. But, I don't think there's going to be many goals here. I really don't. Minnesota's been, for the most part, I think they're an under team. They are fairly healthy, too. Gusty's look good. Both of these goalies are goalies that have came up from their AHL systems that are actually in their top tier AHL goalies, in my opinion, and Lindgren and Gustafson. So I'm going to take the
Wow. Slatsy says bet the under 6 this morning at minus 105. Not applicable, says bet under 6. I was leaning Minnesota. Let's just quickly check the money, and then I'll make a decision on that. Let's see. Yeah, extreme. That's not great to see. 27% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on Washington, and very small line value on Washington as of right now, according to the site that we look at. And yes, everything's on the under, bigger bets on the under. Only about 45% of the tickets on the under, but 94% of the cash on the under. Wow, you guys might be right here. You guys have a good read on this shit, man. Maybe the under is the way to go. And I'm still just thinking Minnesota first period. But you might be right. Under.
Yeah. I really think it is. The way that game went last night, too, it's not like they lost 4-3. They came all the way back. And then defensively, Minnesota's fine. They're healthy. Gustafson and Lindgren are good goalies. I don't consider Minnesota a top-tier scoring team at the moment. So, yeah.
I see Tues in the comment section. Huge shout out to Tues. Tues, thank you for everything, all you do I messed it up. Thank you for all you do, posting everything on Twitter. I want everyone to friggin' watch Tues' shows whenever you can. That he posts a link to on YouTube. Huge shout out to Tues. If you can't, no problem. But if you can, watch that friggin' show. All right, I'm going to take it. I'm gonna take because if it wins and and I don't make it official, I'll be really frustrated. If it loses, I'll be fine with it. So I'm going to take Minnesota first period, just minus 112 at Pinnacle right now. So I'm going to make that official. Minnesota, that seems okay, right? I mean, in general, Minnesota has a history this year of starting well, and Washington doesn't. They came back in their last game.
Yeah, this is the thing with Lindgren, though. I'm looking at goalie. He played January 6th. He lost at home to Nashville, allowed 3 goals. As a backup goalie, he's sitting on that, Pete, for now 2 weeks pretty much. I expect him to have a solid start here in this game. Before that, had a win December 31st against Montreal, allowed 2 goals, and then allowed 1 goal against Winnipeg at home. So expect a good bounce back from Lindgren here.
Okay. That's great there, Mr. Goxer. I'm still taking Minnesota first period, okay?
I had to get
minus 112 at Pinnacle.
I like it.
All right, let's move on. We got Winnipeg and Montreal. This one I'm not sure about. It'll be interesting to see what people have to say. Winnipeg obviously absolutely rolling, right? They've won 8 of 9. Montreal, for a while, of course, they were awful, just getting scorched defensively, losing game in and game out. Now they've managed to win 3 of 5. Is that fluky, or have they fundamentally gotten a little bit better? I have no clue, but I know you follow this closely, so you probably at least have a clue, if not the absolute dead-on answer. Yeah. If this was Montreal from a couple weeks ago, it would seem like Winnipeg, even as a big favorite line, would be a no-brainer play. But maybe Montreal's turned a little bit of a corner. What do you think?
Yeah, our chat knows all about Montreal too. They got injuries right now, Pete. They're problem injuries. Sletkovsky, I believe he's going to be out now. Evans is out. Allen's day-to-day. Gallagher's out. Gouli out. Monahan out. There's some big names there out for Montreal. Already kind of challenged on the DN right now. Really young defense. Could have Montalvo going again. Allen hasn't started since January the 7th, where he allowed 4 goals and a win. 3 against the Rangers. Jesus, we got ice falling here. Scared the shit out of me. Sorry, guys. Montreal, sorry, where was I? Fucking ice here, Pete. It's dropping to like 2 degrees, and now the ice is dropping from above. And holy Christ, just what gave me a heart attack on air. Sorry about that, guys. So where I'm going in this play.
Oh, we love that shit. Maybe Jose will clip it and be like, "Look at this, great content. What we're doing here."
No, you feel it, eh? Like when it gets you, eh? And you feel a little jolt there. Like I put my finger in the.
Sure.
Anyway, stay focused, Gokster.
Yeah.
Hellebuck, I'm not going to, if it ain't broke, don't fix here, Pete. There's too many injuries for Montreal. Allen, if he does go, I don't expect much. Penalty kill for Montreal or for Winnipeg's been 90% last 10 games, 83% on the road, 90% since December 1st on the road. Look, maybe a Montreal team total under 2.5 makes some sense to me. But I'm going to take in the money line parlay, I said with Toronto, Pete, I'm taking Winnipeg as well on the money line, and that's going to be at plus 128. Toronto, Canadian special here for you guys, Canadian bacon. Winnipeg, Toronto, plus 128.
All right. Well, looking at the money, and then we'll look at the comment section. As of right now, small line value on Winnipeg on the road as a road favorite, about 25% line value, so nothing huge. There is one game with full line value. It's coming up, Gogi, and we'll test you once again. But this one has about a little bit of line value on Winnipeg as of right now. Yeah. Totals are roughly split. And let's see what people in the comments section have to say. Let's see. People talk about everyone. College basketball. Not Apple says Montreal corner short-lived, so not a believer. Rocco Rogers likes Winnipeg regulation minus 125. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe Winnipeg is a no-brainer play here.
It is, that's what I was going to say when you're talking about it. I'm thinking if it ain't broke, don't fix it with Winnipeg right now. Don't try and get in the way here. Montreal's got some wins too, so it's not like they're too desperate here. Yeah, that was a good win too, 2-1. But that game on Sunday too just felt like a weird spot for the Rangers. I like Winnipeg here, maybe even a -1 if you guys want that.
Well, unfortunately, there's been an enormous line move since the overnight. I don't know if you caught that, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, Montreal. When I first looked at this game, was plus 156. Okay, now they're plus 220. That is a fucking big ass line move there.
Yeah, I had them at minus, what was it? Winnipeg money line was minus 186, 3 a.m. last night. Now it is like minus 245. So that's quite the line move on Winnipeg. The line should have probably been set a little higher, I think, to be honest, just with the injuries. It's just, playoff team and a team that's looking for a draft pick. So,
all right, you know what? I'll make it official, even if I think there's probably still a little bit of value. I'm going to double up. I'm going to take Winnipeg first period and full game. Does Winnipeg usually start out okay, or do you think it's better to maybe they'll get down one zip and then come back second period?
I'd want them full. I'd want them full game.
Yeah.
I'd want them. They're like just a better hockey team. And you know what makes sense too, Pete? I think is the Montreal team total under.
Right.
Their power play has not been doing anything. They're not going to score, I think, on the penalty kill, especially with Hellebuck and net, even though it is on the road for them. Quick check here, guys. Montreal team total under 2.5 minus 141. I don't see them getting 3 goals. So
wait, which one? Montreal?
Yeah, it's in regular.
It's 110 minus 110.
Under 2.5.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Pete. Yeah, I like that. If you could even get it to 3, I don't see them getting 3 goals against Winnipeg here. I really don't. 5-on-5. I don't see them outdoing Winnipeg. So that's where I'm looking at this game here, guys.
All right. Well, I'll throw on at the pinnacle line. Winnipeg -1 minus 162, -1 minus 162, and that is kind of tempting. The Montreal team total under, but
Winnipeg haven't allowed more than 2 goals the last 3 games. They Buffalo had 2, Pittsburgh had 1, Arizona had 1. So I don't know. I don't see it.
They are. That's probably a better bet, honestly, than the Winnipeg -1. But I'll just one more peek at the comment section, and then we'll move on. There you go. Imp 13420 likes Winnipeg. He likes first period at plus 118. D Jenkins was on Montreal team total under against Chesty and playing it again.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but it's probably a value play, especially at
minus 110. Oh yeah.
Yeah, at Heritage.
Yeah. Fuck, I should open a book. Sorry, I should open a book there. Yeah, Montreal got the win 2-1 against Arizona. Still hit the team total. Or no, sorry. Still hit the team total under against the Rangers. 1-2-1. So, yeah. All
right, maybe I'll add it on, but let's move on for now. All right.
Let's do it.
Columbus, Nashville. Columbus on a back-to-back. They lost to the Rangers yesterday. They mostly lose, but they do get a win here and there, right? Arizona was losing game in and game out for a while. So was Montreal. But Columbus throws in a win here and there. Nashville on a back-to-back. They beat Calgary yesterday, but before that, they had lost 3 in a row. And they're a big favorite here. And, I don't know. It just does seem like at a certain point, Columbus is likely to get a win here and there enough so that a big dog line like this is not warranted. But let's hear what you have to say about it. An interesting game.
Yeah, I know it is an interesting game, and this could maybe be a bit of the trap one here with Nashville. Lost 3 games before beating Calgary 2-1. The thing is, Columbus, there it is falling again. Columbus, they didn't look that bad against the Rangers. That's a tough team to play. The Rangers here. Now they're traveling to Nashville. Tough travel spot, but it is for both teams here. Well, I guess Nashville's staying at home. But Columbus here, it's going to be a much easier goaltender, in my opinion here, Pete. They're going to have Lankinen going, from what I'm seeing here, because they had Saros scoring last night. So Kevin Lankinen going, that's going to be the chance for Columbus to score, in my opinion. And then you got Tarasov going for the Blue Jackets, who both these goalies, I don't expect much. Back on December 23rd, allowed 4 goals to Chicago. Tarasov, he hasn't played, Pete, in almost a month. Tarasov too, and then Lankinen allowed 2 against Washington, 5 against Vegas, 5 against Edmonton. So where I'm going to go here, guys, is first period, both teams to score. I think Columbus, they looked really strong actually in the third period. They finished strong. I watched the recap there against the Rangers. They did finish pretty strong. So I think they're going to carry that over on the road here to Nashville. But with Tarasov and net, even a full game over here, you know what? I'm gonna take that too. Actually, I'm gonna take full game over. What's the line you got there, Pete, on the Columbus Nashville? I'm gonna take the full game over, along with both teams to score at plus 155 first period.
Columbus Nashville, the total.
Yeah, I like the over.
I could give you a 6.5 at minus 101 or 6 at minus 128.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'll take the 6.5.
Okay,
Over.
minus 101. And you know what? I'm doing a little audible here. I'm actually the Winnipeg game feels funny to me. At the opening line, I would take it, but now I'm pulling. I'm not gonna bet that. I'm not gonna make that an official pick. Winnipeg -1. I don't want it.
Team total under Montreal.
No, just the Winnipeg -1, -162. I'm pulling that officially. Okay.
Yo, gotcha.
All right, so you're taking you want the over in this one, huh?
Yeah, over 6.5, and both teams to score first period plus 155. It was a lower scoring game too. Both of these guys 2-1 for Nashville. Much easier team defensively for Nashville to play here. Goaltending too. It just feels like compared to the games they had last night, this should be a goal fest here, especially with the backup goalies. One guy hasn't played in over a month.
Yeah.
There's even though the only thing going against that kind of here, guys, is the power plays have not been that good, but you got a chance, I think, for goals. 75% in the last since December 1st at home for Nashville penalty kill, and then 73% penalty kill for Columbus. So penalty kills are poor here, even though the power plays aren't the greatest. Both teams, all right, Columbus coming off the loss. Goaltending is just not the greatest. I'm expecting goals here.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking maybe Columbus team total over, but I'm gonna hold off. Oh, there you go, Imp 13-420 Columbus team total over. That's what I was thinking as well. Shout out to Jabby Cab. We're going to talk about college basketball in a second. Not Apple says Columbus can score sometimes. That's true. I was thinking about the Columbus team total over. Is Columbus a decent? Yeah, I don't know. This is so tough. All right, let's look at some.
I'm going game to game here. Just the last game they played against the Rangers, like I don't see them coming laying an egg here because they in the third period, Pete, they really put it on Halak. Halak started in that game, but Halak, he played a good game. The defense for the Rangers too is much better. Nashville before Calgary, they allowed 4 goals, and then 2-1 loss against Toronto. But it just the back-to-back spot here with Kevin Lankin in the net. I've seen this guy be really bad. I wouldn't even be surprised, to be honest, if Columbus did win this game. I wouldn't. But the goaltending is just so poor, in my opinion, on both sides. This could be a 5-4 hockey game.
All right. Well, as of right now, the site we look at, a teeny bit of line value on Nashville, but that's just as of right now. More of the bets coming in on the under. I'm going to pass on this one. I'm sorry?
Bets are coming in on the under. I'm kind of
not at 60%. Just a few as of right now. That could flip easily. And Rocco Rogers says Nashville isn't -200 against anyone. That's what I was thinking. Then Mally Mal says Columbus is trash. That's what I was thinking as well. So there you go. So Rocco Rogers says Columbus or pass. Mally Mal says Nashville or pass, and the reasoning I agree with both. So I am actually
goals.
Yeah, that's when you know you're a shitty handicapper when you see significant value on both sides of a line that they're offering.
I've been there, Pete.
Yeah, I think there's like some value with Nashville at -200, and I also think there's a decent amount of value with Columbus at +180.
I would tell you, sir, stay off that game.
Which tells me I have no friggin' clue what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm going to pass. All right, let's move on. Buffalo, Chicago. Here we go, Mr. Ghoster. This is the game, according to the site that we look at, that has full line value on one side here. Okay. It is also the game that has the Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day, which is Buffalo in regulation at +100. So the site that we look at has full line value on one of these sides. Buffalo as a significant road favorite against Chicago. Buffalo, of course, on a back-to-back. They lost to Florida yesterday, right? Which maybe is a little bit forgivable. They beat Nashville before that, but before that they had lost 3 in a row. So they've lost 4 of 5, but of course before that they were rolling. So my question is Buffalo losing 4 of 5 an indication of that they're coming down to earth and that's who they really are, or are they closer to the team that was just kind of winning game in and game out? The same thing can be said for Chicago. They lost an embarrassing high-scoring game in their last one, but before that they won 3 in a row. Before that, of course, they've been losing game in and game out. So the question is Chicago who they are the last 5 games or so, or is Chicago closer to who they were the bunch of games before those last 5? Ron Crawford thinks that Buffalo is a good play here. What do you think?
Yeah, so Patrick Kane, Pete, big name for Chicago, everyone knows. He came back, from what I know, against Arizona January 6th. That's when they started winning, started scoring again, because before that, they 0-1-1-2-1 couldn't score. Then when he came back, 2-4-3 and then 5 It's just defensively. Both teams, even Buffalo, they're better defensively, but just goaltending. Anderson's going to be going here back-to-back last night. He allowed 4 goals last time out, Pete, against Philadelphia, 2 against Ottawa, 2 against Arizona. Stalock, he's such a hard goalie to cap, Pete, because he won against he had a win, stopped 44 pucks of 47, and then came back, then lost to Seattle, stopped only 21 of 25. It's going to be a tough spot with Buffalo coming in off the loss, and they've lost, 1, 2, 3, 4 of their last 5. Real tough one for Chicago here. Probably a similar, that 8-5 game, it's going to be similar, I think. Chicago probably going to score 3 goals, but I expect them to allow 4 or 5. So let's quick look at the penalty power plays. They're actually not humming like they were for Buffalo, 17%. 27% though since December 1st on the road, 26%, larger sample size, Buffalo can score. And then 16%, 20%, 14% power play for Chicago. They're not the greatest scoring team. So I would have to lean towards Buffalo here. Do I want to play it? They're completely healthy too. I do. Okay,
well, Billy Friedrich says Blackhawks D is a sieve in front of their goalie. D. Jenkins says value on Buffalo at that price. Billy Friedrich likes Buffalo, not applicable likes Buffalo. The site that we look at has full line value on one of these sides, Buffalo or Chicago. Mr. Gokster, which do you think it is?
Buffalo.
You're right. Absolutely. Buffalo, full line value on Buffalo. And and also, by the way, Ron Crawford chimed in on the Nashville game. He says Nashville is a side that he would take. So that might be the way to go. Maybe Nashville shouldn't be a favorite against anyone except for certain select few like Columbus. I think Buffalo. So Buffalo in general is a quality team. They didn't start slumping, and they just kind of got on a nice run. You think that they're close to the team that they were when they were winning game in and game out, as opposed to who they've been the last 5 games?
They're just a young team still. That's the thing. They're going to make mistakes. Their offense is really young still. They got a lot of young guys. They're coming off these losses. If you look at before, they're a real streaky hockey team, but I'm pretty high on this team, to be honest. I was on them against Nashville on the 14th of January a couple of days ago when they won 5-3, and this feels like a similar game, like a 5-3 game for Buffalo. Team total over 3.5 for Buffalo sounds really good too after a 4-1 loss to Florida. Back-to-back for Buffalo. So if Buffalo loses the game, it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't see them losing 2-1 here or 3-2. I would expect it to be more goals. Chicago, their offense, it's not the greatest, but at home they do play much better. I don't love this game by all means, but I am going to take Buffalo regulation here. What was the best number Ronnie got it at? Minus 105.
I'm not sure, but did you see? I might have. Did you just see? Yeah, sorry. My half of my electricity just went out.
Oh,
let me just. Is someone on the ones and twos right now?
Yeah, I'm watching Pete flail around, looking.
Yeah, not all of it. All right, just take me out. I'm going to do something for a second, and then take care of the show for a second.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I got you. There you go, Pete. No problem. So, Pete, half of Pete's electricity going out is very funny. I'm shocked that his internet didn't go out either. But
that's strong internet.
That is strong as hell internet. You're right. So, Gokster, Buffalo, Chicago. What did you end up deciding on?
Yeah, so I'm going to rock with Buffalo. Everyone in the chat likes Buffalo. Ronnie's on Buffalo, too. They're coming off a 4-1 loss. They're just a better hockey team, too, Jose. They can score. Give me the Sabres. Chicago should be going for Bedard anyway. So.
All right, I'm back, baby. All right. So, just very quickly, Gogi and thank you very much, Jose Bouquett, the comment section. I think I'm going to take Buffalo -1, and I'm also thinking about which would you rather have, Buffalo first period, or do you think that it's going to be Buffalo team total over is going to roll?
Buffalo team total over is going to roll.
Yeah.
Not even going to think twice about it.
Yeah. All right. And what about first period?
How many? What are we asking?
That's the problem. It's a little bit steep. A lot of times there can be fluky results early when you have a good big road favorite, and then the class takes over later.
They're coming off a big loss, so maybe both teams that score first period could hit. But give me 60 minutes. Buffalo's their offense should be fine. Your power play too, nearly 30% on the road. So
Yeah, the team total for Buffalo is 3.5 minus 111. It's a little bit tough with these 3.5s now in the NHL. You know what I mean?
No, it is. It is absolutely. Geez, we got sirens going on quite the day here in Belleville. Yeah, and anytime they win, if you look at when Buffalo win, they haven't won a game here when they don't score at least 3 goals there. They've scored at least 4 goals in all their wins dating back to like November. So when they win, Buffalo wins. So they're going to score. Sorry. So, yeah.
Right. On a back-to-back, they've got to be, yeah. But all right. You know what? Yeah. Wow. All right. I'm just going to take, I'll just take a shot with, officially with Buffalo -1 at minus 118. I think that's okay. That's the line at Pinnacle right now. -1, minus 118.
You know what, Pete?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little change here. Actually, I haven't bet this one yet. I'm gonna take the Buffalo team total over 3.5 at minus 111.
Do teams get really tired on a back-to-back like this?
Well, it's not like in the chat too. People like Chicago doesn't have the strongest defense nor goaltending in front of them. And they're coming off the 4-1 loss. If they would have won that game, like say 3-2 overtime, Pete, really grinded it out, traveling all the way to Chicago now, a bit of a battle, but coach, I just think this is kind of weird, but like, I think coach isn't the greatest actually for Buffalo, but this is a spot. They've come off 3 losses too. In those losses, Philadelphia, Seattle, Winnipeg, much better teams, all playing really good hockey of late. So, yeah. This is one for Buffalo.
All right, I'm not going to go nuts. I'm just going to take Buffalo -1, minus 118, and we'll roll with that. Quickly look at the comment section. Let me see. Comments, and yeah. Okay. All right. I was just looking at comments, but I got a lot of comments came in since but now we're good. Shout out to that flush, Alan. Okay. Let me see.
Mike think of that? I'd like to hear what you think of that, Mike. The team total over 3.5 Buffalo.
Makes me feel a little bit nervous. I don't know. Like the Blackhawks are such a bad team offensively that maybe Buffalo rolls like 3-1 or even 3-0, like a shutout or something. You know what I mean? And they win comfortably, but the team total loses,
Yeah.
In fact, I think I'd be leaning Blackhawks because I know that Buffalo is like looking to clamp down on D more on this one because they kind of gave up some goals and some chances that they didn't want to in their last game. So I'd almost like the Chicago team total under more than Buffalo.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess the thing that caught me is all these wins that Buffalo have 9-4, 6-3, 5-4, 6-2, 7-2, 6-0, 4-2, like 5-2. They score like that's what they do. So,
but Chicago doesn't really.
They don't. But since they've got Kane back, Pete, they got 4, 3, and 5 against Calgary, Colorado, and Seattle, and you got a team on a back-to-back here in Buffalo. So I would expect Chicago maybe to score. Like I said, if Chicago wins, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And if I think Buffalo wins, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game too. So,
all right. Well, full line value on Buffalo. I'm going to tail that. I'm going to take Buffalo -1, minus 118. All right, let's move on to Detroit and Arizona. Detroit's on a back-to-back, lost at Colorado. Yesterday, they lost 5 of 6 now. Arizona, they've lost 9 in a row, not really scoring. Arizona, a small home dog here or modest home dog. And I guess it's just which is going to give, Arizona's bad offense or Detroit's bad defense. What do you think?
I'm going to go with I think another goal situation, to be honest, Pete. Arizona's been pretty desperate. They haven't been playing good hockey of late. Penalty kills, just both these teams, penalty kills, 65%, 64% last 10 games, sub 80% for Arizona at home since December 1st. Looking at Hellberg, Pete. Hellberg's going to be going for Detroit here. I don't mind him. He's coming off a loss against Toronto. Tough game. Allowed 3 goals, but before that, win against Ottawa. Did lose against Buffalo, allowed 5, but I don't mind this Hellberg guy. He's 30 years old too. He's an older goalie too, kind of been passed around. He's actually, I believe, came from the European League, Hellberg, but there's not many injuries to Arizona either, too, guys. They've been playing without Michelli and O'Brien. Sandina's out for Detroit, but this has to be a goal. I would expect there to be goals here, Pete. Vejmelka hasn't looked that good. 2 goals against Winnipeg. 4 against Ottawa, 4 against San Jose. He is better at home, but Well, I would expect there to be some goals here in this hockey game. I'm not going to double up. I'm just going to take first period, both teams to score here at plus 170. I thought that line was too nice there. So that's where I'm looking in this game, guys. To be some goals early, probably as the game goes on. Don't have a strong feel on this game.
Yeah, Billy Friedrich says with Mrazek in, net for Chicago, goals galore.
Oh, if Mrazek's in, yeah, I would have felt better with Stalock in for them. So team total over 3.5 feels even better now.
Yeah, and not applicable, likes the over 6.
In Detroit?
I'm sorry?
In Detroit or in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would lean that way too here. Penalty kills, if we're going to see some power plays here, if the refs, start calling some, that's the thing too. What are the refs, depending on the reffing crew, are they going to be calling a lot of penalties or are they going to let the game go? But more penalties, the better for an over here. Better chances for an over. Back-to-back last night for Detroit. I have here. Who did Detroit? Yeah, they played Colorado. They lost that game, I believe, right, Pete?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the first period both teams to score, but that's about all I want to do with this game.
All right. Extremely tiny line value on Detroit as of right now, but the line has moved in Arizona's favor since the overnight line, so it's gone down a bit, and the bets are coming in on the over. I'm going to pass on this one as of right now. Interesting game, but it's a tough one, and actually I'm seeing some sharp action. Another side coming in on the under, so
it is a tough capping.
Yeah,
they played Colorado, now they're playing Arizona. It's a step down, but they're on a back-to-back. Arizona didn't play, so I do think there's going to be goals early.
All right. Last game on the card, Seattle and Edmonton. Interesting here. Seattle on a back-to-back lost against Tampa Bay yesterday, but before that, they'd won 8 in a row. Very nice. Edmonton returning from a 4-game trip. They won 3 in a row. But before that, they were losing more than they were winning, and now Seattle is a big dog. I know that Edmonton is a formidable team, but Seattle had been winning game in and game out. It's a little bit disrespectful, I think, making Seattle like a plus 140 or 145 dog on the overnight. What's your take on this one?
This is tough. The numbers are crazy here, guys. Jones is 13-1-1, Pete, on the road. He's lost once in overtime. His save percentage is .899. So he's got a sub-900 save percentage, 2.79 goals against. I've never seen that, a goalie with a sub-900 save percentage, but he's 13-1-1. They rely on goals. Do you want to get in a goal fest here with Edmonton? You don't. The issue, though, I have here is Skinner, Stuart Skinner. See if I can bring up the Oilers beat writer, because I had him day-to-day on Stuart Skinner. I do expect him to go, but could be a little banged up here. They did actually play at Edmonton on the let me bring it up here. Seattle, Edmonton. They played January 3rd, and Seattle, that was the start of their road trip, Pete. 5-2, they won against Edmonton. Then they traveled to Toronto, 5-1, to Ottawa, 8-4, Montreal, 4-0, then down to Buffalo, 1-4-3, across to Boston, 3-0, all the way over to Chicago, 8-5. This is the craziest road trip. Like, they should get an award at the end of the year for best road trip performance of any team. And then 8-5 win against Chicago. They were tired. Then they had to play 2 days later at home against Tampa Bay. Now they're flying back over to Edmonton, and it's on a back-to-back. Like, I think that's why the line is what it is. I think it's just a tough spot for Seattle here, guys. Like, if I was on that team, I'd be like, holy shit, like, give us a break here, schedule. Edmonton, though, they're coming off the road trip here through 4 games where they did look pretty good, finished it off nice, scoring 6, 7, and 4. Team total over Edmonton. That sounds like the play here. I see it at minus 118. I actually didn't play that. I took the over. I took the 3-way on Edmonton here. Regulation minus 105, but I almost feel more comfortable, to be honest, on Edmonton team total. That's what I'm going to do, actually. I already bet the other one, but I haven't tweeted this out yet. I'm going to take, guys, Edmonton over 3.5 minus 118 team total over. That feels like the play here, because Seattle, they're 13-1-1, and their goaltender's got a .899 save percentage. So he's going to allow goals. It's just Seattle can put the puck in the net. But if you're looking schedule wise, like I just said, guys, it's a rough spot for Seattle, to say the least.
Yeah. Man, I missed that Tampa Bay. That was such an obvious play to fade Seattle in that one.
I know. Me too.
Man, I missed it. All right. Yeah, very small line value on Edmonton, according to the site that we look at. And almost all the bets, 94% coming in on the over in Seattle, Edmonton.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff there. Yeah. Wow. I mean, Edmonton, 3 straight games. I mean, they've got some their offensive excellence on that road trip that they were on. What is that? 20 goals in 4 games. That wasn't a fluke, right?
Beating Vegas, against San Jose and Anaheim, they scored 7 and 6, which just showed they're a good offense, but that's not a tough team to score that many goals against. Vegas, that's impressive. 4. Still scored 3 against LA before that, 2 against Colorado. I watched that game. That was just a tough spot for them. Colorado was real pissed off. 4 against the Islanders. And you got a Seattle team here that defense, it's a real tough spot, in my opinion. Even though they've had a shutout, they were good on that road trip. They're going to have at least 5 games. I'm just looking up their schedule here. They're going to finish off after this home game. They have after this road game. Sorry, they're going to finish with 5 home games, and then it's the All-Star break. So the over team total over 3.5. This should be a goal fest too.
Yeah.
In this one here, because Kraken, it's going to be their last game. So, and they're coming off a 4-1 loss. They're probably going to put a good foot forward here, even though it's been a tough schedule spot. Over 3.5 on Edmonton, and the full game over makes sense too.
Yeah, the full game over makes sense too. And it was weird. Edmonton blasted Seattle a bunch of weeks ago, and then soon after that, they came back to Edmonton, and Seattle got a big win.
Yeah.
So you think these players care about that stuff?
Well, that just tells me right there, both teams know how to score. Edmonton can get 7 against them, and Seattle can get 5 against them. So there's going to be at least 3 goals on each side here. So yeah.
You think there'll be a second straight? Yeah, it's not a good spot for Seattle. All right, I will. I'll not overthink it. I'll start with Edmonton -1 at -114. That's the current line at Pinnacle, and yeah, I will throw on the Edmonton team total over. They when they win, they should put up some goals. That's let's see, where are we? -125 at Heritage right now. Edmonton team total over 3.5 -125. But Nutflush Allen makes a good point about those 3.5s. If you're expecting an empty netter at the end, that makes things. I could see this being like a 3-zip win. But all right, I'll just eat the loss if they only get to 3.
No,
right?
I'm almost getting a little nervous about the 3-way on Edmonton here. Seattle, I know I was talking about the schedule, but the goaltending situation is not the greatest for Edmonton. Skinner, he's day to day. If he does play, it's not like he's been playing that well. Mm-hmm. They're coming off a 3-game road trip, coming home. It should be a back and forth battle here, to be honest. It's after this game, like I said, they're home for 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I think this just should be a back and forth battle. McDavid scores some crazy goals. This should be a high scoring game.
So you like the over more, and you don't necessarily like Edmonton, huh?
I would feel more comfortable taking an over than Edmonton. Yeah.
All right, let me just hold on. Let me just look at.
More I'm letting it sit. It's like having a meal. The more you're letting it sit, the more the over's coming out.
Let's see what the comment section has to say. Let's see.
What do you guys got to say? Yeah, I'd love to hear the chat.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Right. Yeah, Mr. Nutflush Out says, just my opinion. It's a very valuable opinion to all of us. We know that. Mm-hmm. Right before the All-Star breaks, a team in the bottom of the standings just want to go on vacation. Think of most humans when you're headed to vacation. You don't care about work. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's vacation. Yeah, I'd say next week would be closer to it. The vacation for them is not until January 29th. So they still got
Cheshire Cat. Yeah. DC Capper says, Peter Loshak, you agree with Wisconsin -3.5 at Penn State? I do. That's just my opinion, though. But yeah, I do. Wow, over. Yeah, but Seattle's been so good on the road. But you're right, it's such a bad spot for them, isn't it?
It is, and they're playing Edmonton, who I didn't read off the power play stats here. 33% power play at home for Edmonton since December 1st, 31% overall, 27% in the last 10. And you're looking at penalty kill, 69% for Seattle on the road and 69% last 10 games, Pete.
I think you're right. All right, I'm gonna hold off on the Edmonton -1. I'll just take the team total over though, 3.5 -125. And if it is a 7-5 type game, then great. The over, game soars over, and the team total cashes as well. All right, I'll just take the Edmonton team total over. Thanks for the comment section for all the awesome friggin' analysis here. Looking at it. Look, reading comments here. It's hard to host a show and read the comments. Billy Friedrich says Edmonton will force them into a firefight. Over is my play for this one. No side. Wow. Yeah.
You know what makes sense actually? If I want to take is like a over maybe 5.5, even 6.5 in Edmonton. If I can get that at like plus 180, 190, maybe I'm pushing my odds there. But that's because I think there's going to be goals here, but it will be tough on a back-to-back too for Seattle. They've been allowed 5 to Chicago, 4 to Tampa. Power play is real good for Edmonton too. I'm just going to see if I can just pull that up real quick before we finish off here.
Sure.
The win in the total here at this one book, over 5.5 and Oilers to wins plus 130, over 6.5 and Oilers to wins plus 175. That's kind of because if I'm looking, the over. You know what? I'm not going to try and force this Edmonton spot here. I'm just going to take the over. Team total over 3.5 beat, but I do think Edmonton. They should get it done, but I feel like I said, I feel more comfortable taking the over.
All right. I'll be on that one as well. What's up, Jose Bouquett? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm ready for this hockey segment to wrap.
Yeah. Let's just review the official picks. Just so that everything is clear. My official plays, Anaheim, Philly, first period over, 1.5 minus 136. Philly, team total over, 3.5 plus 100, and Philly minus 1 minus 134. I took Minnesota, first period, minus 112. Buffalo, minus 1 minus 118. And Edmonton, team total over, 3.5 minus 125. Gogi, review your official plays, please.
All right, guys. So when Minnesota, Washington, first period under 1.5 plus 115. No goal first 9 minutes, minus 105. Toronto, team total over 3.5. minus 104. We got a parlay with Winnipeg, Toronto money line plus 128. I'm taking Buffalo team total over 3.5 minus 111. I'm taking Columbus, Nashville, first period, both teams to score plus 155, along with the over 6.5 minus 101. A lot of action. Edmonton team total over 3.5 minus 118. And I'm taking Philadelphia and the over 5.5 at plus 150, along with Detroit, Arizona. First period, both teams to score plus 170.
That was great. And once again, the spreadsheet play of the day from Ron Crawford is Buffalo in regulation plus 100. And if you're hemming and hawing about the Nashville game, Ron Crawford says take Nashville, 37-7, 84% Nashville. Shout out to Ron Crawford. Okay, great. Very, very nice. Mr. Gogster, hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Absolutely. And Billy Friedrich, I do like that over 5.5 in Edmonton. Guys, be good. See you next this Thursday with Peter. Pete, love you, buddy. See you.
Hell yeah.
Pete, Gogster, before you go, plug your golf show real quick.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, slap me in the face. We got the golf, the American Express, guys. Check it out on Pub Sports Radio. Myself, Connor Mack, breaking in all you need to know for the golf this week. I've given out a 6-pack. It's a Pro-Am, so no first-round leaders. Where we've hit back-to-back winners. Had Siwoo Kim last week, 45-1, and I had 8-1 on John Rahm the week before that. So we're hitting them pretty hot right now, guys. Golf is the future here. So check it out. We love you, and be good, guys.
All right.
Okay. Let me address one quick comment here. Billy Friedrich says, Jose angling for that kid and play look. Billy, Jose has no clue who kid and play is at all. 0% chance that Jose has any idea who or what Kid and Play is. Jose, right?
Yeah. Rap group?
Never even. What did you say? Google it 2 seconds ago?
No, Kid and Play just sounds like a rap group.
All right. Yeah, you have good instincts. Yes. They are a rap group. Jose Bouquett. Yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough. I'm glad we did that. By the way, Pete, we're going to do college basketball next here. I'm running a little behind. He's got his child and stuff, but that's no worries because we've got the illustrious, the flexible. The flexible is my favorite part about him. Dabby Cab joining us.
Oh, look at that. Dabby Cab. So, if Dabby Cab were up for something and I was on the jury, I would say definitely guilty, but I'm voting innocent. And then people are like, you can't vote innocent on someone you think is guilty. I'm like, I can, and I just did it.
I love it.
I would always vote innocent on you, but I would know in my heart, obviously, you did it. But I would be like, I don't give a shit. I'm voting innocent. Fuck you. You don't like it?
That's why I love you.
Put someone else in there.
That's why I love you, Pete, because that's a proper introduction. Not telling everybody that I'm flexible like Jose without.
No, I've seen Cab work. He's a flexible guy, obviously. So shout out to you, Dabby Cab. Hopefully, we'll be seeing each other soon. And by the way, we're echoing a little bit, Cab.
We're echoing. Let me turn the sound down.
And make sure you're on your mic as well. Another make sure as well.
Is it muted?
I think no. I think you might be on your computer mic, but I'm not sure.
Damn it! It did it again. Thank you for helping.
All right, so Jose, how's this going to go? Because if you don't cut us off, freaking college basketball, we can talk about this for 3 hours. Do you want to just like let us know when Trot Wham is ready, and then we'll wrap it up?
Yes, do your thing.
Now we're good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can go as long as you need, but we do have to get to NBA. So, all right, Dabby Cab, you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm always ready, man. NCAA, I love it. I love it. I will tell you one thing, Pete.
Yeah, go ahead.
I get into some marquee games, and I know that might not be your style, but I don't know.
Styles upon styles is what I have.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
All right. You want me? How about I just like take a side that I've either bet on the overnight or thinking about, and you tell me what you think, because you've looked at all these games, right?
Well, Jose told me at about midnight last night, and I didn't see it till this morning. So all of them, maybe not. But
okay,
I'll have an opinion for it. Yeah.
Like the big ones. All right. The first one that I'm sure you've looked at, which I already bet. I don't know if it's a smart move or not, but I did take a shot with Kansas State +2 against Kansas. Got rivalry game, obviously small dog number for Kansas State. I just didn't really overthink it on the overnight line and pull the trigger on Kansas State +2. I did that, Dabby Cab. What do you think about that?
So now, first thing I want to start by saying this. Most people are usually against me when it comes to capping college basketball. Mm-hmm. I am on Kansas, not Kansas State.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So, and I not only am I on Kansas, I have Kansas first half full game. But you have to know, Pete, I've doubled down on Kansas 3 times this year, and they've gone 6-0 for me when I've done it.
Wow.
And it's been in spots like this where they're getting a very low number on the road.
Oh my God. All right.
Like against Missouri. I'm not trying to freak you out. I'm just trying
No. You're freaking me out, but it's okay. This is what we're doing.
Kansas State is a very, very good basketball team. Okay. And they're a very good basketball team, but just some of the numbers on this game that I could say. So Kansas, they're putting up 76.9 points per game. That's good for 69th in the nation. They're 77th in scoring defense, allowing 65.2 points per game. K-State on the flip side, like I said, good basketball team. You're going to have a little better numbers on offense. 78.2. That's good for 47th in the nation. They are allowing 67.2 points per game, which is also 123rd in the nation. And for people who think that sounds bad, that's above average. There are a shit ton of like 364 teams. Here's the thing for me in this game. Kansas has proven to me that in these close road games that they can win. And because of that, I came back to the well with Kansas in this spot. It's a rivalry game. And I've said this all year. Anytime I'm getting Kansas under 3 points, I'm all over it. I got the first half at minus a half, and then full game -1.5. So I'm on Kansas both sides here. I want to say that I wish you luck because I love you, Pete, but I don't.
No, I might hedge out of this. I mean, I thought it was an okay thing. It's like I don't know. It's like when you do a limp call in poker or something, and then someone puts a big bet in and you fold. I might switch out. I just thought it was an okay thing to do at the time.
So, and I'll say this, and you'll see this. So, one thing that I look for in college basketball, I'm addicted to it. I watch absolutely as much of it as I possibly can. So, a lot of my capping comes from obviously the numbers, but I watch like every possible game that I can watch. And Kansas is just one of those teams, like I said, when the game is close, they find a way to win. And that's one of the things. I think this game will be very close. It's indicative to the line. But like I said, Kansas finds a way to win for me. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, hold on one second. Okay.
Oh, BJ did make a good point too. TCU just smoked Kansas State. So maybe if they're looking like maybe to bounce back or whatever you want to call it, but Kansas is, even though their numbers are, not super high tier numbers. This is a solid team that has so many people from Wilson to Grady Dick, just so many different players that they can use, that they can shoot from deep, they can move it in, they push the court. And another thing is their defensive numbers are high because of how fast they play on offense. So like their defense is not near as bad as what their numbers look like.
We're talking with Dabby Cab, college basketball friggin' expert who watches an addict. An actual addict. You know, a lot of people, talk about how much they know about college basketball. Few will admit to being an addict, too, of college basketball. Dabby Cab does. By the way, for anyone who didn't know, when I just said Styles, what I have you, what the fuck was that? That's a Tribe Called Quest reference from like 1992. So don't get freaked out. That's what that was. All right, Dabby Cab. I might get out of Kansas State. I'll wait and observe, or maybe I'll just ride with it and eat the loss. Another play I'm thinking about that I haven't bet but gonna bet as we talk, unless you talk me out of it, is Mississippi State getting a bunch of points against Tennessee. Like 6 or so. Feels like this is a good spot for them to at least get a cover, if not an outright win. But I'll take the points. What do you think about that, Mississippi State?
Okay, so I'm not going to talk you out of this one. I want to pull up some of my numbers on this one for you really quick. Tennessee. Of late has been falling just a little bit below expectations for me. I'll give you some of the numbers here for the Bulldogs. This year, right now, the Bulldogs. So this team has been hit or miss too, but right now, their shooting numbers in college basketball put them at 327th or in effective field goal percentage, which is not good. Right. But they're knocking down just 28.8% of 3-pointers. They're only hitting 61.1% from the charity stripe. And this is a very good Tennessee defense.
Yes.
So what I'm getting at is this line doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
And I think you might be on the right side. I don't understand why it's only 6.5. I genuinely think that Mississippi State is live in this game, and that's going off the line, not necessarily off of what I've seen like the other one. Mississippi State should be a bigger favorite, and the fact that they're not, they're begging people to bet Tennessee right now.
Yeah. All right. I took a shot, average sized shot with Mississippi State at +6. We'll see how it turns out. Very curious there. Let me ask you about another game. I guarantee you've looked at this game. Dabby Cab. Houston Tulane. I'm thinking under. I don't know about the side. The side is tricky. Probably leaning Tulane, but definitely thinking under at like 146 or so.
Okay. I can always support an under in this game, especially because you've got two opposites. First off, Houston's offense is not bad, but we've all seen that they can go cold at points and just not score out of nowhere. And Tulane's offense is off the charts. Let me find my numbers. I got it right here. Tulane, 81.9 points per game, which is good for 19th in the country. That doesn't matter here. They're playing Houston. Right. And this Houston
going to be an intense game. Right.
Mm-hmm. This Houston defense is nothing like Tulane has gone against. Right. This Houston defense is the number one defense in the country by the numbers. And I'm also going to go ahead and say they are the number one defense by the country. Regardless of the numbers, this Houston defense is the best defense in the country. Right now, they're only allowing 52.9 points per game. When you look at their offense, Houston's putting up 75.9 points per game. That's good for 94th in the nation. They're shooting 46.6%. They've struggled from deep a little bit, only shooting 34.8%. One of the things I said on the Saturday Pub Hub, and I've actually been saying it for a couple weeks, is that I expect Marcus Sasser to come around, especially from deep. He's their leading scorer, putting up 16.6 points per game. And he's been doing that. Last game, he got hot from deep. And I truly expect Sasser's numbers to continue to increase. When you look at Roberts, for anybody who doesn't know who Roberts is, number 25, the big down low for Houston, he's just crazy on the boards. The way he crashes the boards, Tulane's not going to be getting second chance opportunities like they've been getting against other teams. I know this is a high number for a very good Tulane team. This is a very good Tulane team. I just want to emphasize that. But I am still riding Houston first half -5.5.
Wow.
I am about nine wins I bet Houston. I have not bet them every game this year, but my record with them, I should have it in front of me. I want to say maybe 9-3, maybe 9-2.
Wow.
In the first half. So.
All right. I guess we're not giving official plays here, but if we were, I would put the under.
No, I'm official.
Right. You are, but okay. Under is a play that I'm definitely going to be on 146, and I definitely bet it. Tues, whoa, Ole Miss first half, Tennessee first half, Kansas first half. Wow, very nice. So maybe if I hedge out of
you
the
see
Kansas State play, I'll just hedge.
Here?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You see Wham in the chat?
Do I see Wham in the chat?
Houston first half is auto. And look, Pete, I don't know, because we've got the cap together a few times, and some people love it. What I do, we all have different styles, right?
Yes.
I stick with what I know and what I feel, right? So, like, people have seen the way I've ridden that Jordan Clarkson threes prop this year. That's kind of taken off, and I'm worried some people have ruined it because the number's all the way back to minus 160, 165 now. I'm just kidding. But anyways, I find things that I feel good with, like Yu Darvish in baseball. I told everyone, I said, Yu Darvish will come out on top at the end of the season. I'm going to ride with him. My ROI will be positive if I ride with Darvish. Houston first half, I knew going into the season, and I still know that my ROI will come out positive. It's not simply an auto bet like every game. I'm just saying I am usually on Houston. I wasn't on them last game when they didn't cover. I did have them against Cincinnati, though. So
yeah. I mean, that's one of the key to successes in life is just to stick with what you know. And if I knew anything about anything, I would stick with that for sure. But when you don't know anything, you just it's more fun. You can just do whatever the hell you want. All right, let's just try to go through the rest of the slate kind of fast, and then is Trotwam? Trotwam's in chat, so is he ready to go? What's going on here?
Whenever he's ready, just you let me know. And Pete,
yeah.
I'd love to make. I know you don't get too deep into it, but even if you want me to come with like the records and everything like that for Tuesdays, I'd love to do some college.
Sure, we can do that. We'll figure it out. All right, let's look at some other games. Sammy Calmer likes Texas Tech money line. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day. Baylor +2. Very interesting there. You got anything to say about either of those?
Yeah, I'm on Baylor, so I can go into that one. It's crazy. Every game we brought up on, I told you I stay on these marquee games.
Hell yeah.
This Baylor team right now, they're averaging 117.8 points per 100 possessions, which is great. They're putting up 9.5 threes per game. That's good for 23rd in the nation. They're doing that at a 36.1% clip. On defense, they're allowing 98.7 per 100 possessions. That's good for 77th. Tech right here. Look, I know what Tech is at home. Oh, this same Kansas team. Here we go. Here's another example. Tech was 29-0 their last 29 games at home until last game when I bet Kansas against Tech at home because I got a low line. And guess what Kansas did? They beat Tech because that's what Kansas was going to do. This Tech team is still good. They're not the team they were last year. They're not the team that they were the year before. Tech's putting up 108 per 100 possessions right now. That's good for 92nd in the nation. They're giving up 94.5 points per game. 94.5 points per 100 possessions, which is good for 31st. So this is still a very solid team, but Baylor is reeling. Everybody saw Baylor come out and shit sheets at the beginning of this season, right? This is still a very good Baylor team. They were dealing with injuries. I know Cryer was their third leading scorer, but Flagler needs Cryer. There are parts of this team that were missing when they were struggling. This team is coming back together. They're covering spreads again. And even when they were struggling with those games and losing a few of those games when they weren't supposed to, they were close games. This Baylor team is who we thought Baylor is. I'm getting fucking plus of 1.5 against a Texas Tech team.
2.5. 2.5 right now.
First half for me.
Oh, first half. Okay.
So I'm first half with Baylor plus 1.5 right here. Again, when I'm on the road, if I'm catching points with the team who I feel like is a better team, I'm going to rock with them in the first half.
Wow. So you actually like the first half play better than the full game play?
I like both, but I'm on first half.
Wow. All right. Well, I just went on both of those myself. Was not thinking that way, but your analysis and Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day makes it a no-brainer for me. I was also, touch on whatever you want. I was thinking maybe Florida State getting like 5 at Notre Dame. maybe Boston College getting like 15 at UNC, and maybe Vanderbilt getting like 8 at Alabama. You like any of those?
Alabama is one of the hottest teams in the country right now. I personally would stay away from fading Alabama. And
Okay.
I'm trying to remember but the other ones you just said, I like.
Florida State maybe getting 5. Boston College.
Notre Dame sucks. Notre Dame sucks. Notre Dame's, and I don't have numbers in front of me, but Notre Dame is not who people thought they were. This is not a good basketball team. They can shoot from deep, but if they're not hitting their shots from deep, I mean, they'll lose that game to Florida State. And I know who Florida State's been this season. I've paid attention, but they have gotten a little better. They've shown a little progression. Notre Dame is nothing but regression this whole season. So catching those points against Notre Dame, I absolutely could support that play right there.
Wow, this is an awesome segment. Let me see what other plays and stuff I was thinking about. Then we'll glance at the comment section. Yeah, Houston Tulane under, definitely liking that one. And then I was thinking just one of these no-brainer college basketball overs that you do see sometimes. Ohio Toledo 160, huge total, but over anyway. And first half maybe even a little bit more. Yeah,
there's not going to be any defense played in that game.
Right.
Whatsoever.
Okay.
Just whatsoever. There's no defense. I do have one other play.
Go ahead.
We hit this one.
Well, I'm told we have 8 minutes, so let's try to cover a bunch of games instead of talk about one game for 8 minutes. Let's talk about 3 or 4.
Okay, yeah. I'll talk about as many as you. Yeah, I just meant I have one other bet that I made.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I did take Texas first half plus 1.5. Here's the thing. I think Texas is one of the best teams in the country, and I think that what happened with their coach caused everyone to pay attention to that Rice game, and everybody saw Texas struggle against Rice right after they lost their coach. Okay. Texas has one of the top defenses in the nation. They have one of the top offenses in the nation. They have one of the best point guards in the nation. This is kind of a speech I gave to everyone. They're like, oh, but they lost their coach. Okay. So let's pretend like me and you are on that team, Pete, right? And we're in the locker room and we lost our coach, but all of our fucking players are healthy. We're still ranked in the top 10 in the nation. We still know how good we are. Are you and I going to look at each other and pout and be like, oh, we can't win anymore? Or are we going to say, fuck that guy. Let's get together and let's go win some damn basketball games. And that's what I said Texas was going to do against Oklahoma State. They did it. You're giving me points here with Texas. Again, first half plus 1.5 is where I'm at. I know I'm in the first half for a lot of the games. Yeah. I took Texas here first half. Iowa State's been great. Very good basketball team. I don't think people expected them to be as good as they were. I think Iowa State is a tournament team. Again, I just think Texas is better. I think they have a better offense. I think their defenses are comparable. And I think that Texas probably not only covers my first half, but wins this game and gives Iowa State a loss at a home court that they don't lose at.
No, the halftime stuff is great. I love that shit. Yesterday, I was on Alabama State plus 4.5. Then I see Tues is on the other side at minus 2.5. I was like, oh shit! Sure enough, AAMU covered the first half. Alabama State came back second half, and we both cashed.
Especially on the road. When you're on the road and you get those plus points with. So, like I said, one of the things I go into, obviously, I look at numbers. I read articles, I watch interviews, I do everything I can possibly do. But for me, my favorite thing is that I watch the games, right? And I've seen both Iowa State and Texas play several times. They are both very good teams. Iowa State's offense can shut down at times, and this Texas defense is very aggressive. I love catching a 1.5 here at Iowa State.
Sounds good. Let me quickly ask you about a game that someone else asked about, and I would like to know about as well. That friggin' Wisconsin Penn State game. I was thinking, I don't know. I mean, obviously, glancing at the numbers, why should Wisconsin be a favorite? But I was thinking Wisconsin would be the play.
I would go Wisconsin. That's one of those lines that I was so caught off guard by that I didn't look too deep into that. Penn State's kind of been reeling lately. They've been you could just see it with the pace of play. They've been slowing their pace. Can you, I don't know if you have anything in front of you I can look to. Is Wisconsin fully healthy? Do they have their point guard back?
Let me see. No, I haven't looked into that. I would assume that they do though.
Yeah, I would. That's what I'm thinking too. I'm trying to find it for you right now.
Yeah, see if you can. Yeah. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Let's see what we can find out here. Let me
Sorry,
see.
1 second. I'm almost done.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
This is a big deal. This is for.
Yeah, we have 4 more minutes. In the while you're looking around, I'm looking at. I'm going to look at the comment section. PG00187 likes Penn State. Billy Friedrich says Wisco's tough to beat at home. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so look, I don't know how much you want to trust the Milwaukee fucking Journal Sentinel, the first thing I pulled up on the internet, Pete, but what it says, and this is the truth, what the first thing, Wisconsin has missed Tyler Wall significantly last 3 games, but senior is expected to play on Tuesday. Okay. You need him in the game if you're betting Wisconsin. If he's in the game, I like Wisconsin.
Okay, absolutely. I trust them when it comes to Wisconsin injuries. When it comes to COVID and war information, no, I don't trust them. I think they're fucking lying. Yeah. No, when it comes to Wisconsin player injuries, 100%. 100% I trust them. Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah, and then let's see some other stuff. Let me just what did we forget? All right. So as of right now, you can read the comment section. Yeah, the Kansas game. Dabby Cab likes Kansas. Tease likes Kansas first half as well. So be careful of that. Mississippi State, I bet it, but that might not be an endorsable game. Tease also likes Tennessee first half. Florida State, Dabby Cab endorses that, and I bet that, and I would endorse that as well. The Texas-Iowa State game we just discussed. Baylor is the Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day. I like the under in Houston, Kansas. I'm sorry, in Houston, Tulane, and some other people in the comments section like that as well. So that's definitely a play that I would endorse. The over in that MAC game, in the Ohio game, even at 160 and probably the first half a little bit more. I like both of them. First half probably a little bit more. And yeah, anything else that you want to bring up, Dabby Cab?
I actually have a slight producing abilities, even though they're terrible. So I brought up our guy JPZ. Shout out JPZ. If you didn't know, on this show, he's on the motherfucking intro. I can still say it, even though it's not the sesh. Shout out JPZ. He said Houston's ranked number 1 in the nation at first half covers, which they are. That's I mean, it's just one of those things. So there you go.
Ron Crawford also likes Florida State, which is very, very nice to see. And here we go. Tank, motherfucking play of the day, Butler plus 7.5. We didn't even talk about that. Dabby Cab, can you talk 20 seconds about Butler?
I can, but I want health. Health report is important for Butler also. But this Butler team was injured early, and it cost them. Pulling it up. Said he's got 7.5, right, against Creighton. Creighton has been, I'll tell you what, Creighton has been on fire, but as I pull this up, and good news, I do have some of my numbers here. Creighton's putting up 76.5 points per game. Their scoring offense is ranked 75th, making 46.6% of shots from the field. They're a little above average on the free throw range, 35.1% from beyond the arc. So they shoot well. Okay, this team shoots well. Good. We all know that about Creighton. But when we look at Butler, I think one thing that what Maddie must be looking at is I think Butler is going to have an advantage in the paint here. They're only putting up 69.9 points per game, but they're shooting 46.3 from the field. Like I said, they're shooting better from the free throw line, 46.3 from the field, and that's going through their injuries where they were losing some of their bigger players. So you got Bates. He's leading them with 5.9 rebounds per game. He should be completely healthy. As this Butler team gets healthy, I think they're going to be a good play going against bigger spreads and better teams. So I endorse Butler 100%.
Oh, man. Dabby Cab, I thought it was going to be a nice segment. This is way better than I even thought it was. Yeah, I'm clapping for you, Dabby Cab. Thank you so much for all of your insights. We got to go to NBA now, but Dabby Cab, have a great day. Have a great week. We'll do this again very, very soon. We'll figure something out. We do it every Tuesday, and we can do it other days, too. We'll figure it all out.
Let's go, Pete. I love you guys.
Dabby Cab. That's the comment section, too. Wow. I got some nice plays, Jose Bouquett, now on college basketball. I'm liking them all.
Beautiful. Cab, before you go, what do you have to plug? Apologies. I went mind blanks.
When we do this whole plugging thing, here's what I'm going to plug. Pub Sports Radio. Just tune in to anything that we got going on because all of you on the panel and all of you in the chat, we're fucking family, okay? So tune into everything that's going on Pub Sports Radio. I'll be here on everything that I'm invited on. Anytime Pete wants me up here, Pete, I'm with you. Jimmy, it's the same thing. Jose, when MLB comes around, you already know I'm going to be there with you. It's Pub Sports Radio. Just tune into everything we got going, guys.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dabby Cab. And there went Dabby Cab. Now, the National Basketball Association's on tap. Pete, I opened up my NBA in 2023 account in classic fashion. I went to a crisp 0-3 on the Alamo Dome game that I went to. It was a lot of fun, actually, but a crisp 0-3 on the on Spurs first half, a spread in money and the under. I should have remembered that White Dante was good at shooting at the Alamo Dome, so I should have taken his prompt. So shout out to him. But let me tell you guys this next guest of ours, much better at NBA capping than this fucking guy right here. So let's talk to everyone's favorite NBA capper, Trotwam in the building.
Come on now. We in this bitch. What's up with y'all? How y'all feeling out there?
Feeling great.
Let's
Hello,
get it.
Trotwam. It's nice to see you.
Doing okay. Intense. We've been capping for a while now. NBA, NHL, college hoops. Now we're going to do NBA. But I'm feeling good, Trotte. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm I'm you know, I kind of was running a little late, so I'm sorry for getting burnt outside of everything here. I know you guys been doing this a lot. Luckily, I'm not as flexible as Dabby Cab, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have to worry about that. You know, but for the most part, I'm happy to be here with you guys. You already know it's Legendary Tuesday, bro.
Hell yeah, Trotwam. All right, you ready to go? You ready to go?
Sir, let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Okay, let's start with Toronto and Milwaukee. Now, this is, you never know in the end who's going to play in these stupid games. So I don't know. Right now, I'm seeing Milwaukee as a little bit of a favorite here. Toronto's on a back-to-back, right? They won at the Knicks in OT yesterday, winning straight up at ATS recently, but before that they were slumping for a while. Milwaukee also on a back-to-back, blasted the Pacers yesterday. That went over, but before that they were going under. And I don't know, is Giannis going to be back? He was out yesterday, right?
He was out yesterday, so I was on the first half Bucks yesterday, and he was out. That obviously threw a whole fucking thing in there, but he should be playing today. I expect him to be playing today.
Okay, that doesn't change anything for me. I still have zero clue at all where any value might lie. What do you think, Trotwam?
So yeah, on this game, this game, I'm going to try to take out a lot of the recent stats of what we've seen recently with the Bucks, because obviously Giannis hasn't played the last 3 games. So if he plays today, it's going to be a totally different team. Their best player, being that he's going to be in the lineup against a team that's coming off of a overtime win on a road-to-road situation. My guy Ski kind of gave me some great information going all the way back to 2015. When these situations happen road to road off of an overtime, the road team is 0-13 against the spread going all the way back to 2015. So full game numbers for the Bucks are kind of in play there. So I did take the Bucks first half and full game at -4.5 for the full game, -2.5 in the first half. They haven't been covering that first half at the house. They're 1-4 ATS so far with the Bucks, but again, without Giannis in a couple of those games, and this Raptors team coming off that overtime win, kind of maybe a little bit fat and happy going up against this team that may be having their best player coming. That will be having their best player coming back. I'm just going to put that in the universe because I can't see where he sits both games. Maybe they take this last game. They didn't take the last game as serious, and they're taking this game a lot more serious, factoring in that this Raptors team is a playoff type team. So I'm going to go and just go out and say this is going to be a very decisive win for the Bucks, just based off of the recent trends, not recent trends, but the long-term trend that Ski provided for us, and along with just the matchup. I just think that matchup-wise, obviously you're going to have Pascal do what he's doing all year long. I expect him to play really well, but I'm going to go with Giannis and the boys early and often. Took the first half at -2.5 and the full game at -4.5. I just believe that even though they haven't covered 1 and 4 over the last 5 first halves, still bad for the first half for the Raptors too. They're 3-7 ATS in the first half over the last 10 games. So still good number here that we're getting right now. Once Giannis is announced in, this is going to move for sure. So I'm on the Bucks early and often here, first half and full game.
Wow. All right, I'm listening to what you say. I'm thinking maybe Raps team total under at 110. What do you think about that?
I do like that a lot. I do like that. This is a short total as well. And then if you look at the that trend that he gave us, though, it is 9-3-1 towards the over for the
over.
So it is a 75% chance. I mean, it's been going over in that same trend that we were talking about with the road and road overtime win going against the team. So kind of goes towards there, but at the same time, I mean, I expect it to be some sort of defense for this Bucks team, especially with Giannis coming back. But it is a tricky thing, though. I won't lie to you. I'm kind of not thinking too deep on the total here. I just think that the Bucks are going to be able to score and play better defense. So it does correlate with that team total under, though.
All right, awesome. Trot Wham. I'm gonna stay off this game. We have the Ron Crawford NBA spreadsheet play of the day. Shout out to Ron Crawford and shout out to the entire friggin' comment section that makes these shows so friggin' enjoyable. It's just so enjoyable to have all the information that comes in, all the people who participate, all the people who make jokes, Matty Ice, Ron Crawford, everyone, Mally Mal, Ski Prophet, everyone. All right, I'm going to stay off it. I sincerely hope with all my being that you cash whatever you bet on this one, Trotwell, because I'm probably not going to bet anything by the time the ball tips. All right, let's move on. Nets and the Spurs. This is another interesting one, right?
Yeah.
Spurs, I mean, the Nets, what to make of this team without Durant. They've lost 2 in a row straight up in ATS, and then the Spurs, though, losing game in and game out, but covering a lot of those games. Now they've lost 2 in a row ATS and a dead over trender for a while now. I don't know what to make of this one. Do the Nets have? I guess I would be thinking maybe Nets team total over, but they have not looked that great offensively recently. Do they have the offense to be reliable enough to bet a pretty high team total over, which would be like over 120? Do you have anything on this one, Trotwell?
Not really. I don't have anything that I want to lock in yet. This is something I was kind of want to weigh my options in, get some more information based off of. We know that the Spurs team is bad at rebounding the ball, so maybe there's some props to take advantage of. Maybe Ben Simmons points, rebounds, and assists. Maybe not even points, just maybe rebounds and assists, because we know he's not trying to shoot. You know what I mean? I don't know what that's about. But, I think that's kind of the only way I was thinking, was just possibly going with props here. I did have a small edge towards TJ Warren last game, and luckily I didn't bet it because it was heavily juiced at 14.5 points at minus 150. I just thought it was way too much juice to play that, and then obviously he didn't go over the 14.5 points. But today is a new day. I think it still goes into the same play. The reason why I liked the TJ Warren last game is because Ben Simmons wasn't there. Even though Ben Simmons is going to play in this game, I expect him to still get those shots because, again, he's not going to try to score. He's trying to pass and trying to rebound as far as Ben Simmons. So I like this Nets team, to be honest with you, even though they don't have Kevin Durant, and they have been one of the worst points averaging points over the last 5 games. So without Kevin Durant, you're missing out on 30 plus points. That's obviously taking a big toll on them because they're only averaging about 108 or something around there over those last 5 games. So they're really dead last in that spot. And I don't know if Kyrie is going to go off or not. Shout out to Mike Wickerson. He said he don't know if Kyrie points so high. Has he been cold? He has been cold. I think it's just a little bit too much for him, though, to be honest. Like, some of the duties that everyone is having to pick up since KD is not there, it's kind of throwing these guys' rhythm off, and their roles are totally changing. So it could be a good chance for him to go off today because this is a team, like you said, Pete, they're not playing any defense. They don't give a damn. They're Victor Wembanyama, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right now. So I have nothing on this game, but if I had a free bet, I'm definitely going to think to take the Nets full game and that points or rebounds and assists with Ben Simmons. I expect him to have a good game on the boards and assist wise.
Yeah. Spreadsheet play of the day for Ron Crawford, by the way, is the Clippers. And Rob Free says the Clippers. Why? That's what I was thinking as well. I was leaning Philly, but we'll get to that game in a bit. Yeah, I mean, Nutflush Allen tipped me off to like overs in or at least opposing teams' team total overs in Spurs games a while ago. Can the Nets have the personnel to put up 120?
For sure.
Yeah.
Even without KD, as of late, it hasn't shown that. But our guy Mike said, it's because Kyrie's been pretty much cold. Today he has the Jones brother playing against him. So, I'm not really too concerned about that matchup at all. If I'm Kyrie, I think he should be able to get, whatever he wants, honestly.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to hold off on this one as well, but I'm tempted to take a shot with the Nets team total over. All right, let's move on. Two interesting games: Portland and Denver. This game actually has full line value on Portland, according to the site that we look at. Portland, they had two great games against Dallas, but before that, losing, game in and game out, mostly straight up in ATS. And Denver's been absolutely rolling straight up and ATS for a bunch of weeks in a row now. But maybe Portland has some line value. Portland getting a bunch of points. What do you think, Trotwell?
Yeah, I think Portland does have full game value. I just don't think it's early on. I don't think it's early on at all. Obviously, when teams come to the Mile High, they feel it early. It's been one of those proven bets to take Denver historically over the last few years since Jokic has been involved in this team. I think they're hearing some weird, maybe NBA fuckery going on with Jokic status today. So I did lock this in already, though. I did lock in the Denver first quarter at -1, if I'm not mistaken. I got to pull that back up here. But I did take the first quarter. I think that they're going to just continue to do that. Maybe in the full game, it's a Blazers spot. Dame time can erupt later on in this game. That's kind of how I'm picturing this to happen. But early on, I think that it's going to be a first quarter spot. Shout out to our guy, Sammy Comer. That's his play of the day as well. Actually, I did get the 2.5. You're right, Sammy. I got it at 2.5. I got that mixed up with the Clippers. I am on the Clippers as well, so we'll talk about that. But I do like the Nuggets here. I think early on, hopefully we don't hit any fuckery from Jokic. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen there? But I expect I expect Denver to show up early, as they've been doing all year. So I like the Denver Nuggets early. I'm glad my guy Sammy's aligned with me there. And shout out to AOD. Hopefully we get you some information on why the Clippers after this next segment, bro.
Yeah. Ron Crawford had to go to a meeting, so we can't ask him. But Alvin Smith says Clippers win big tonight, so maybe he can answer that question that now two people have asked, and I would like to throw my name into that ring as a third person asking that question. All right, but so wow, so the Nuggets early. Sammy Coleman likes it. Trotwam likes it. But you think that Portland full game is okay though? Maybe.
Yeah, I like the full game too. I like the full game for Portland. I just think that they got those type of wing players that can withstand, a bad stretch here. The only thing, though, that makes me not want to bet it is because there's going to be a significant advantage when it's Jokic against Nurkic. And that's what my guy Pineapple Orange says in the chat. That's a matchup that we all should keep key in on. Ever since those guys haven't been on the same team, we obviously know who's the better player is Jokic. But, I mean, it's really kind of like, miles away from each other. So I kind of expect Jokic to ball out today against his old team today, man.
Wow, I was gonna make Portland maybe an official play, but maybe I'll hold off on that one. All right, maybe we'll revisit it after we cover the next game. Interesting game. Spreadsheet play of the day from Ron Crawford on the Clippers. Rob Free says the Clippers. Why? AOD says the Clippers. Why? I say Clippers. Why? But Trotwam says he likes the Clippers. Alvin Smith says Clippers win big tonight, all in caps. Trotwam, tell us why you like the Clippers tonight.
Okay, so last game, we seen what happened with the Lakers and 76ers. They've been in LA for quite a while. We know what that type of time is when these guys, especially big stars like James Harden, Joel Embiid, they're not staying in a hotel. They're hanging out. They haven't played yesterday. So they had their whole Martin Luther King to be able to hang out, pick up whoever the hell they want, smoke as much weed as they want. It's only right to take the team that's actually focused. We've seen a lot of teams having to deal with this Lakers to Clippers, back-to-back spot. Luckily for them and luckily for us, this is not a back-to-back. They actually had a day off in the 76ers. They have been playing really well on the offensive side, so I do kind of like this over. Only reason why I'm not taking over because the Clippers have been playing really, really well on the defensive side. And I ain't going to lie, man, Kawhi Chair is not Kawhi Chair no more. He got out the wheelchair. He put his big boy pants on. He actually hitting the weights. I like the Clippers a lot here. Obviously, the line is moving in their direction. They were underdogs originally. From when I looked at it, now the line is moving to -1.5 full game. I think that's the spot, man. I think the Clippers are to play today. I just believe that Kawhi is playing really well. Shout out to AOD. Paul George is questionable. That's an upgrade to questionable for Paul George, so he's more likely to play today. I think he's going to play today as well. And having Kawhi and Paul George, well, I'll say this. Paul George is going to always give us consistent. Having Kawhi at this form right now, and then you add in what we already seen from PG over those last 3 years, I think that's only going to tell tales why these Clippers are possibly still, favorites to come out the West, because we haven't seen it yet. I'm not saying they are going to be that good in the playoffs. I'm just going to get that disclaimer. But I think they are going to show tonight that they are a contender and they could definitely hold their own, especially when this team kind of had a whole 24 hours to have smoke parties and shit in their room. So I expect these guys to kind of be a little bit off early. Maybe play a little bit well early on with the 76ers. But I think full game wise, Kawhi and them boys actually show up and lock down those perimeter guys. They have trouble shooting the three sometimes with the 76ers. So if they have trouble shooting the three today, I don't expect Embiid to just go all balls out and have 60 points. That'll be the only way I think these guys can win. If he has a tremendous game and Zubac is miniature, which I don't expect to happen. So give me Clippers, man. I took them at +1 last night, and then I endorsed the -1.5 as far as official bets, what's available right now. -1.5. It will be an official bet, but just to give you all this disclaimer, I got the +1.
Okay, I don't know. Road teams that are off a straight-up win, but ATS lost that were at the strip club last night are actually 23-11, last 24. That's last 34. That's going back to the middle of last year. No, I'm just kidding around. Wow, everyone likes the Clippers here. Wow, apparently Jay Money is on the Clippers.
It makes sense.
Man, maybe the Clippers are the way to go here. Bad situational spot for Philly, according to Rocco Rogers. Oh my God. Okay, maybe the Clippers are the play then. Maybe I'll tail that. I was at least going to take Philly first quarter or first half or something. I mean, they've got like a new starting lineup that's effective and Embiid's playing okay. And you know what I mean?
No, I definitely understand. And Embiid is definitely playing really well, especially with that last foul that he gave on my boy Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to key in on that game. And maybe say that the refs kind of gave the Lakers a little bit more love yesterday against the Rockets, and they may be on the bad side of it with the 76ers tonight. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not sure who the refs are today. I probably have to look that up, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get a lot of those James Harden calls that he normally gets. And I will say this too. James Harden loves to play against these boys. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a crazy game. He's been playing against Kawhi and PG, all of his life damn near, and the last game he did ball the fuck out against them, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had 30 plus points, almost triple-double. So I expect him to have a really good game. It's really keying on Embiid. Is he going to have 60 to 55 today? I don't think so.
Yeah, I was thinking about under as well, and someone else just said that. Where is it? Someone else just said Rob Free says, how about the under? How about the under, Trotwell? Why is this a low total?
Yeah, it's a low total because his defense has been like really, really solid for the Clippers, man. Their defense is really solid. And I think the struggles from three, not as of late, but for the most part of the year for the 76ers, it kind of would correlate with the under here. So it's interesting. It's an interesting spot though, because they both kind of have the same amount of rest. I think this is going to be more of a playoff type game, though. So that's the case. It's the reason why I like the Clippers. Yeah, they correlate with the under. So I'm nowhere I could go with the over here. But I understand that thought process because, the Clippers have been scoring a lot better. And this team in the 76ers, they have been scoring pretty good as of late as well. So I just think the defense is going to lock in and stop them from shooting threes.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to bet that. I'm making an official play under 223.5 minus 108. That's the line right now at Heritage. I'll make that an official play. And now the Clippers are favorite. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. Clippers were a small dog on the overnight line, and now they're a small fave. Wow.
Rightfully so.
Everyone's trying to tell you something here, aren't they? Clippers have got to be the play, right?
That's what I'm on. That's what I'm on, Pete. I got the +1, but we're going to officially give out the -1.5 just to – I think they win the game. So
maybe I'll double up and take the Philly team total under as well, 111 or 111.5 at Pinnacle. I'll make that an official play as well. What do you think about that while I type this in, Trotwam? Obviously, that makes some sense. What's your take on Philly offensively right now? I
like it a lot. I think offensively they have been playing really well, but again, my whole thought process is they're coming off the club, man. You know what I'm saying? They're taking a lot of those Casamigos shots. They drinking a lot of Red Bulls and shit. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's going to help them for this game here, especially with a team that's playing really well, man. Like Kawhi, he's definitely showing me that he's ramping up at the right time. So I like this Clipper team so far. So let's go, man. We're going to bring out the haircuts tonight, man. We're going to get us a haircut.
The site that we look at, it's interesting. Yeah, all the money's coming in on the under. And yeah, majority of the money is coming in on Philly as well. Bigger bets coming in. I'm sorry, on Clippers as well. Bigger bets coming in on the Clippers and the under. All right, I'll make the Philly team total under 111.5 -113 an official play, and the full game under 223.5 -108 an official play. God, I just can't. I don't know why I can't pull the trigger on the Clippers here. I just can't force myself to do it. But maybe I will a little bit later on. What if we come back and 15 minutes before tip, Philly's like a 1.5 point favorite again?
I think that'll be interesting as hell, and that probably would mean that Kawhi or one of those guys aren't playing. You know, so I kind of hope those. I think it's trending in the right direction that both those guys will be playing in today, and that's the reason why I kind of want to go under, because you're getting another great defender coming back, and that's another reason why I like the Clippers here. So it'll be interesting. We'll have to wait and see. I think it is going to be some type of fuckery going on today. So hopefully it's not Jokic being out. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, here's Alvin Smith says Doc's going to want this game. I mean, that was something that I was aware of as well. Does that mean anything to you?
Doc won a lot of shit. Let's be honest.
We all want a lot of shit. Come on. I hear you. Doesn't mean it happens. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Well, you never know, but of course he wants this game. Of course he wants this game. Right. And I think they won the last game. So, it's more of a revenge factor for the Clippers anyway.
All right. Well, it was a great segment, Trotwam. Let me review my plays officially. You review your plays and what you're thinking about. I'm just on 2 plays. Hopefully they cash. I want it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Philly Clippers under 223.5 -108, and Philly team total under 111.5 -113. Trotwam, what do you have officially? And tell us what you're up to the rest of this week.
Yeah, man. We'll be back here on the NBA Pub show as well. And as far as my official plays, we locked in the Bucks first half -2.5, -4.5 for the full game. Both of those is -110. Also, Nuggets -2.5 for the first quarter. And then we took the Clippers at +1, get officially at -1.5 for the show. So, yeah, that's what we locked in today. Hopefully we all cash. And y'all know, man, I appreciate everybody for being here.
Trotwam, so great to see you again. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week, Trotwam.
Thank you, Trotwam. Pete, brisk pace today.
Yeah, man, the NBA is so crazy. I think it's fun, but I feel lost in a good way when I try to break it down. The strip club, but here's the thing, Jose Bouquett, how do we know for a fact they were at the club? What if someone knows them personally and found out they weren't at the club? Does that change that angle completely, right? They're going to play as if they were at the club, even if they weren't? Of course not.
Well, you never know. LA is a hell of a place, Pete.
These guys go to the club every friggin' time they have the opportunity to? No way, right? I don't know them well enough, but it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, right?
Well, once you have a day off in LA, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Maybe they do. Yeah, actually, I would. If I were them, of course I would. I would, if I was a,
Might as well
a professional-
celebrate my guy MLK the right way.
yeah,
What's
if
up?
I was a professional athlete and I had to like, stay in shape all year long and, so many responsibilities and this and that, I would go to the club anytime I had the opportunity to. I would totally. I get it.
I would see you as a professional athlete, Pete.
Oh yeah, as a lockdown corner in football, hell yeah, on the
You've got the
Jets.
interviews down.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun as hell. All right, Jose Bouquett, it was a great show. I thought you had to go to jury duty. What happened?
I have to leave in 4 minutes, so you finished the show right on time.
All right, let's see. Dan Kelly says Harden grew up in L.A. Okay, I didn't know that. That probably does factor in. All right. What an awesome show. We had a lot of fun once again. I think overall we gave some good advice. Bet responsibly, of course. Tail responsibly, of course. Never go all in and pretty much never even bet more than 4% of your roll on anything unless you're independently wealthy, in which case do whatever the hell you want. That's it for today's show, and we'll see you again next week. Right, Jose?
Yeah, I'll see you soon, Pete. See you guys, everyone. And hey, stick around for Net Profit today, NBA Pub Hub today, and of course, Gridiron Gamblers to end the night. Shout out to my guy, Jimmy, of course. And I can't wait to see you guys back together very soon.
Yeah, it's going to be longer shows, but they'll be fun. We'll try to keep a brisk pace. We can talk about this shit for hours. We can talk about one NHL game, and all of a sudden you look up and we've been talking about it for an hour and a half and still are no closer to figuring out where the real value lies. But it'll be fun as hell. Right, Jose?
It will be. See you guys soon.